It's known as New Zealand's River City, Wanganui on the lower west coast of the North Island in New Zealand. Situated on New Zealand's longest navigable river, Wanganui City has a population of 40,000 people. Its cultural heart is Queen's Park, where you'll find the outstanding Sargent Gallery. The Grand Hotel retains its historical facade, and it's here that a host of equine personalities assembled to celebrate their latest sporting event. CEO of Belty, Ian Willits, is on hand with Tim Pearce. Event organiser Anne Wilson, a winner of the feature title 2 years ago. The day began early in the city of cyclists. The New Zealand Cycling Development Squad trains here, and achievers like 4-time Olympic cycling coach Ron Cheatley and Gary Anderson are associated with Wanganui. On this occasion, it's the Wanganui River Ride, starting off from the Grand Hotel. But today our focus is on the Westpac Trust Stadium, the former Cook's Gardens, which back in 1962 hosted athlete Peter Snell as he broke the 4-minute mile. In a picnic-like atmosphere, everyone's in anticipation of a great event. Some of the best riders in New Zealand have assembled for today's competition. Just arriving in from the United States, Greg Best, joined by Callista Field, our well-known dressage exponent. The riders are here, the competition is ready. Katie McVean, the up-and-comer, with her father Jeff McVean. This event is certainly one of the most popular on the circuit.
What brings the good riders from all over the country to Wanganui for this weekend?
Probably money tempts them, but it's a super stadium and the atmosphere here is great, and the riders seem to enjoy it.
Well, Jeff, you're Katie's father and her trainer as well. What's Kate been doing over the winter?
Just working on young horses mainly. A couple of 4-year-olds hunting, trying to get some young ones going for the coming season, which she's got a couple of really nice ones out of the ones she's tried.
Now, she's been going really well, and I heard she had to sit out one of the World Cup shows earlier on this season. Why was that?
It's because of her age. She's not 18 yet, and you have to be 18 to ride in the World Cups. But she's got a lot of other good Grand Prix she can go in other than the World Cups.
And we'll be looking forward to seeing Katie in the Mitavite Pony Grand Prix. That's our first event today. Well, joining me is Helene Tompkins, and great to have her with us today, offering that professional assistance, as I know she always does. Ideal conditions for competition today, Helene, and exciting to start with Kelly Smith first away.
This is a huge event for these guys on these ponies, coming through the grades. This is probably one of the biggest events, alongside the Horse of the Year show, of course, and the Easter show.
Chalakan Chorus Girl is the first starter, and Kelly Smith the rider. And Kelly Smith is a 16-year-old. She comes from Ngātawa School in Martin but lives in Fielding. Let's see how she contends with this course.
Ngātawa seems to be a fantastic school for keeping horses and riding them. I know they've got a really good instructor there called Tony Cosgrove, who makes a big difference to these girls riding.
And one of the great opportunities you get at a school like Ngātawa is the opportunity for sport, and clearly Kelly is one of the better performers at the school. She's a top performer in netball and also in athletics and cross country, so she's a very versatile young lady.
I'd say this pony's quite strong. If you look at the bit she's wearing in its mouth, it's actually quite a strong bit, which indicates the pony might pull quite a lot.
Well, there's one rail down already for her.
Course builders will be anxiously watching this pony go and hoping it'll get around their track. It's a very technical track for these guys. That's what makes it, probably separates it and makes it a little bit more tricky from others. You really need the control, and I think she's probably just lacking a little bit of that today.
In fact, third rail down for Kelly, so she's going to end up with a total of 12 faults in her first ride here today. Conditions not too bad at all for competition, and you can see problems there at the middle fence. So 12 faults in total for Kelly Smith on Chalakan Chorus Girl, which sets the competition up very, very nicely indeed. Time to introduce a young 15-year-old Carla Hayes. Carla Hayes aboard What a Dude.
In order to be a pony, they need to come under 14.2 hands high. This will be a very, very big pony by the look of it. You can see he looks very strong and probably wouldn't look too out of place in a hack class.
This is Carla's first year in competition at the Grand Prix level on the 13-year-old. And clearly he looks a little more experienced than she does. But doing a good job so far.
Yeah, lovely strong pony this. Some of these ponies can make these jumps look really, really easy, while others look like they're really trying to get over them.
There's a nice story about this pony too, Helene. What a dude. He is a dude. He's known for his escaping ability from paddocks and yards. So his reputation has come before him here today.
He looks a little bit cheeky. Those three fences in a row, they're referred to as a treble, and that's causing a little bit of problems here at the moment.
Same problem that occurred for Kelly Smith, previous rider. Same rail down.
It's important these girls and boys get close, nice and straight to the jump.
First to the bell T there, causing a problem as well. So pretty good ride here for Carla, actually. Not too bad at all. She'll end up with a total of 8 faults. Let's have a look at her over the bell T.
Just tips the first one there. Perhaps the ground's a little bit slippery in here, and like I said before, they have to make sure they're dead straight onto the fences and they're at the right spot at the right time, because the ground doesn't let them make mistakes.
8 faults in total for Carla Hayes, and Dunstan Wild Thing is the next starter with Katie McVean.
Isn't it amazing that Katie McVean is out here riding in the pony class when she's one of the best ones in the horse circuit at the moment as well?
And each year, you know, we just watch her develop, don't we? I mean, she's taller, she's looking very poised, sits beautifully on a horse.
She really is world class. Not unsimilar to Callista Fields. When Callista was at this age in dressage, we sort of looked at her and we knew that we had something pretty special coming through the ranks. And now with Katie and show jumping, New Zealand can be very excited for the future.
Father Jeff McVean, of course, is making his name as a racehorse trainer as well, having had considerable success, so he'll be watching with interest. A boot in each camp for Jeff at the moment, but Katie going well so far.
I'm sure she won't give away her trade secrets, but if you just watch her ride, you can see how little she does almost on the horse. She just sits very still and is light. Her hands are so soft, they're almost open on the reins.
This is looking like a good round here for Katie McVean. She will set the mark for the others to follow.
Dunstan Wild Thing too, not the easiest pony to ride. She had a few problems here last year, I believe. I think her bridle may have fallen off, in fact.
Dunstan Wild Thing, well, no problems there today. Katie McVean gets the first clear round of this competition, and a great start for her day. She's got a big assignment today, so a smile on the face. She's more than happy with that effort. Okay, time to introduce Charlie Brown II and Andrew Beatson, and another very familiar name in the equestrian world.
This is a classic example of a New Zealand pony. This is the pony that every parent wants for their child. He's just lovely, beautiful natured pony. You'll see his ears are always pricked. He really tries for his riders, and he's come right through the Beatson clan.
Andrew's only 12, so he's giving away a few years to his more experienced rivals here today. He attends the Ruahine School, but actually lives in Dannevirke, the younger son of Morris and Christine.
Charlie Brown too, named after the famous rodeo man up there in Gisborne.
Rail down there for Andrew, fence 5.
This is Andrew's first season though, so you know, rail here or there is nothing to worry about. They really want to get him around as many big tracks as they can for experience.
They tell me also that Andrew has All Black potential. He's a great rugby player and was selected for the Ross Shield team. So Andrew Beatson not only making his mark here, on the rugby field as well.
Makes makes that look quite easy. And coming up to the last, and that was a wonderful effort, I think, by Andrew there.
Yes, no doubt about it. The 12-year-old Andrew Beatson, that's a name to watch out for. 4 faults recorded against the name. That's a very, very good effort indeed. Well done, Andrew. Next rider into the ring is Lucy Holden aboard Sir Simba. She's a 16-year-old, comes from Iona College in Havelock North.
It's really nice to see a pony come in with the snaffle bit in its mouth. That means it's really a gentle bit, so when she pulls the reins it doesn't hurt him too much. You'll find that this means probably the pony is extremely well trained, I would suggest.
She's recorded some placings early in the season and is having her 2nd season in the Pony Grand Prix aboard Sir Simba.
This is a beautiful looking pony here, and you'll find too that this is a multi-talented partnership. They win in the show ring, they win in the dressage, in the hunter classes, and excel out here in the show jumping ring too.
One of the great things about this sport is the support they get from the community. Look at the sponsorship. There is just no shortage of it. And while I'm sure they always look for more, it's fantastic to see the support that this sport gets. It's really wonderful. And the Wanganui City Council by themselves have been great supporters of this event. Like any modern progressive city, they're all striving to make their home the destination for most major sporting events. Back to Sir Simba and Lucy doing a good job here.
She's kept a nice rhythm right the way around so far. Oh, and just tipped that one. You'll notice too, she's a little bit more balanced than some of the others, and so the pony doesn't seem to be slipping on the grass so much. That was a good round.
Yeah, nice relaxed ride there, and a big smile on the face of Lucy Holden. Well done, Lucy. So she will end up with a total of 4 faults, and that keeps her in contention. Remember, Katie McVean, the only one to go round with the clear round so far. Now, a chance to see Gentian Blue and Lucy Abraham. So Lucy is a 14-year-old out of Horowhenua College in Levin. She is actually a 4th former there, and she's had pretty good success too. She's been a member of the New Zealand 12 to 14-year-old show jumping team, and they competed at Whakatane earlier this year.
Yeah, you'll actually notice she's wearing, and some of the others are too, a silver fern on the left-hand side of her jacket there.
You're very observant, Helena. I wouldn't have picked that up myself, but now I can. Now you pointed it out.
Well, it's actually quite an honour to have that fern on your jacket. You get that after you represent your country.
So I'm afraid it's probably a little past my day now to expect to win my New Zealand silver fern, but you never know. There may be a sport out there waiting for me. Oh, Lucy's just had a few problems here now.
Yeah, she's not having the happiest of rounds. It probably isn't maybe the easiest track to ride on a bubbly pony like this one, because the turns are so tight and you need to be so accurate, and when your pony's bouncing around underneath you like this pony is, it makes it a little bit tricky.
Your faults starting to build up a little now. Horse a little unsettled. So let's just wait to see. Yes, 24 faults for Lucy Abraham. She'll be just a little disappointed with that. No smile on the face. Looking very serious about it, but there will be another day. Exactly. Tanya Dickey now aboard Exceptional. And Tanya is another 14-year-old. She comes from New Plymouth, actually, and goes to Sacred Heart.
Tanya actually just lives down the road from myself. And they're a huge equestrian family in Ohakura. They really run the pony club there. Jenny, Blythe, her mother, and Phil Dickey, father. This pony actually finished 2nd in this class last year with Tom Tava Preve, you may remember.
I do.
Actually, there are a lot of new combinations out this year. I'm noticing remembering the ponies, but not really knowing the riders. It's really fabulous the way these ponies can adapt to new riders on their back, and they teach them so much.
like getting a good car, isn't it? Knowing that you're happy with it and then passing it on to someone else, because certainly they do get a personality all of their own, these horses. Just giving Tanya at the moment a bit of a tough ride. It's exceptional.
I think Exceptional's sort of known to be quite a tough little pony, hence Tom Tava-Preve picking it up in the first place. But now he's kind of done the rounds over these jumps a few times, so he's now in a position to teach Tanya a thing or two.
In general terms, Helen, what sort of age can ponies generally go to before they're retired?
Well, ponies, unlike horses, seem to just keep going and going and going, and if you look after them well, you could see late 20s in the ring here.
No, it's certainly not an exceptional round today, unfortunately for Tanya. A total of 16 faults in all. And you can generally tell by the composure of the rider how they feel about it. So she's looking a little serious. Well, here's a legend in the ring, Fizzy Lizzy. Fizzy Lizzy, well, what a name, and the full family. This time it is Philippa. She's only 11 years of age. She goes to St George's School in Wanganui. Fizzy Lizzy, 23 years of age.
Yeah, her sister Rosalind rode this pony in the Grand Prix here last year, and I think she's pretty much won just about everything a pony can possibly win. Not to mention that, look how tiny the pony is. She may look a little bit bigger because of the size of the rider, but she's actually only 13.3, probably the smallest pony in this class.
Yes, when you look back on her record, it is amazing. Winner of the 2001 Pony of the Year, the 2001 Pony Grand Prix Series. She also won the National Show Jumping Pony Championship with Rosalind. So a great record for a wonderful pony, Fizzy Lizzy. Here's a partnership I dare say we can look forward to seeing for some time. Oh, hello. Fizzy Lizzy, that's not like you.
Well, you know, these ponies aren't silly, though. You know, they help you out, but they also will teach you a thing or two. And Fizzy Lizzy, you know, she's not silly. It's very difficult. Once a pony's done that and got away with it once or twice, it's just very, very difficult to actually get over. So we'll see what she does on her third attempt.
What are they generally seeing? Is it just spooking them? Is there something in particular that might cause them to do that?
Yeah, she could be spooking at something, or it could be absolutely anything. It could be something in the ground. But once the pony's done it once, it's very, very tricky to get them over it.
Well, that's disappointing there for Philippa. Very good little pony. But today, no way. See, Lizzie not interested in mounting the Hooker Pacific fence. All right, well, we move on. Unfortunately, that's what happens in this sport as we introduce you now to Sam Duncan.
The Duncan family, very well known in the sport of equestrian, especially in the show jumping ring.
Sam is a 16-year-old. He's at Palmerston North Boys High. He lives near Martin. It's his third season on Chiblinkers.
Yeah, what colour would you call that, Phil?
I'd say, yeah.
Spotty?
Yeah, there's a real mixture there, isn't there?
Oh, stunning looking pony. Sort of an Appaloosa roan, I think. I love looking at some of these ponies, though. The colours are just amazing.
I bet the mare got a shock when she looked down.
Sam's got younger and older brothers that ride. His older brother rode this pony last year. He really seems to be getting a tune out of it, though. I think he won the Grand Prix just before this competition in Carterton.
Yes, he's certainly had a number of wins and placings in the season, and is well up in the national points at the moment. So going well and looking very strong here in this round. Absolutely no troubles with 3 to go. Belty fence, here it is.
Oh, and look at the pony trying. Blinker's giving it his best.
Does it easy. Well done, Sam. Good result. So Chiblinkers joins Katie McBean, and a fantastic effort by her on Dunstan Wild Thing. And Sam not showing too much emotion there, but I can guess that he's happy. All right, we saw Carla Hayes earlier on today aboard What a Dude. She totaled 8 faults. She gets another chance here aboard Bush Boy.
She's a stylish little rider. I believe she's produced Bush Boy all herself as well, which is a big thing for these young riders. If you can get a pony up from novice right through to the Grand Prix level we see them at today, then you're doing very, very well.
Now, this pony Bush Boy is pretty highly regarded, in fact, and Carla inherited it from her brother Ben.
It really is a family sport, this show jumping, isn't it? Don't you notice when you're looking through that there's brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers?
Well, I think the big thing that comes across to me is the commitment that you all need to make. And I mean, unless you've got your mother and father supporting you, I dare say it's going to be pretty near impossible. I mean, lots of opportunities for young riders to join the pony clubs around New Zealand, and they are all doing very well, these pony clubs. They're certainly not lacking in popularity. So 3 fences down so far for Carla, and just that one to go. And up and over.
Well, she finished on a good note there.
You'll find that Carla will have a total of 12 faults on Bush Boy. It's been a great competition so far. Reasonably tight, of course. We'll require a jump off now. And as Carla leaves, we'll introduce again the rider we saw earlier in the day. In fact, our first rider today. That's Kelly Smith. Kelly actually didn't go too badly aboard Chelican Chorus Girl. She had the 12 faults, and she'll be looking for a better effort here aboard Little Pac-Man.
I wonder how they think of these names. Do you think they sit around the kitchen table and decide what should we call a pony?
Well, you know, that's an age-old thing, isn't it? Picking names for horses. There have been some classic names over the years.
What do they say? The name don't make it the horse maketh the name.
Yep, exactly. True. So Little Pac-Man doing the job well here.
A real trier over these first few jumps. You can see the way pony places his legs to keep well out of the way of the rails. Really trying. A little bit unorthodox. This pony jumps extra big to get over the fences as opposed to tucking his knees right up.
Jumping very high. She's actually developed and trained the horse herself, so. Yeah. Oh, what a shame. She knows it too. Well, that fence has been giving some of the riders a bit of grief, Helene.
Yes, I think it has. I mean, you have to ride accurately. This is a young pony, and it hasn't probably done many Grand Prix starts. So this is a very, very difficult track for it. But it's good to watch these young riders, especially the pony riders, to see how they handle it when problems happen. You'll notice Kelly giving the pony a pat and coaxing it through the treble as opposed to beating it through.
Only a few fences remaining here for Kelly Smith.
If she hangs on to this pony, I'd say it'll be definitely one to watch for the future.
Another rail down on the bell tee, and Kelly Smith completes her round. But she'll have a considerable number of faults there. And we'll just wait for that tabulation. 24, in fact, on Little Pac-Man. So we have 2 clear rounds so far, and good efforts by Sam Duncan and Katie McVean. Let's check out the action here, and as you can see, this fence is, she seemed to lose her balance herself, actually.
Yeah, but bear in mind, at 6 years old, some people are just breaking in and training these ponies, and that pony's jumping Grand Prix.
There they are, Katie McVean and Sam Duncan. They're into the jump-off in the Mitavite Pony Grand Prix. So Katie will go first aboard Dunstan Wild Thing. This is when the time is on. Shorter course. So this is where Katie would be, I imagine, pretty good. This is probably her skill. Let's see how she goes against the clock as well.
She's going to have to go fast, but she's also going to have to leave those rails out. Now, interestingly enough, Katie McVean was the favourite going into this class, but Sam Duncan was the second favourite. So whoever made the pick made it right.
Bit of good judgment going here. No betting on the TAB with this one.
No.
Careful start over the bell tee.
She's really putting her foot down now. Ooh, perhaps the pony just had its head in the air a little bit too much and didn't quite read the fence right. Now that'll cost her. Sam, of course, will be watching at the gate.
It's certainly going to take a little pressure off Sam, there's no question about that. So here we go. Well, what a shame. What happened here, do you think?
Well, I just think the pony's head was perhaps just a bit high in the air and he didn't really see the fence properly. Just a slight misjudgment on both parts.
8 volts, a time 57.88 for Dunstan Wilding.
Yeah, coming in a little bit too tight there, thinking at the time, I dare say, and she's struggling now with her 8 faults, the time 37.88. Katie McVean and Dunstan Wild Thing. So, perhaps the favourite will be beaten here today if Sam Duncan can hold it together on Chablinkas.
But what does Sam do? Does he go fast and try and make the time and not worry if he has a pole down? Or does he go slow and try and go clear? He has some options here.
I'd go slow.
Yeah, but you see, if you go slow and you take a few rails, then you lose.
Well, we'll see what happens. Sam's the man who can make the call. 37.88 that time. But the 8 faults could be the costly factor.
He's actually not wasting any time at all.
No, he wouldn't listen to me, and I'm not surprised at that. Looking good, Sam Duncan. Can he take it out? The Mitavite Pony Grand Prix. And yes, a great effort there. Clear round. Time will be a little slower, I would imagine, but it'll be good enough to give him the win. And Sam Duncan aboard Chablinkas. He can afford to smile now. He's had success. No faults. 42.33. Well done, Sam.
Let's just have another look over fence 5. Sam's very lucky because he's actually got a fast style of riding anyway.
So the honours now being handed out, and well done to Sam Duncan, receiving his prize from Dennis Gavin, representing Mitavite. Great effort.
So Sam Duncan's our winner today in the Pony Grand Prix, a huge event for these up-and-coming young riders. Sam, how did you find the going?
Oh, it was firm. It was holding. Had to use studs to get a bit of traction.
Chablinkas is one of the favourites here today. Have you been having a good season?
Oh yeah, not too bad up till last weekend. Didn't go too good last weekend, but it's come out today and a bit better.
Hey, what school do you go to?
Palmerston North Boys High School, and I board there.
So who looks after Chablinkas while you're boarding?
Oh, mum and dad, mainly, through the week.
Yeah, and this is your last season on ponies?
Yeah.
So what's going to happen to Chablinkas? Going to be sold? That'll be really sad.
Oh, nah. My little brother's getting me after I've had him.
Oh, that's excellent. So he's staying in the family. Now, how much prize money did you get?
Oh, 500, I think.
Who does that go to, mum and dad?
Me.
So Katie McVean and Dunstan Wild Thing came so close to the repeat of last year. What happened out there today, Katie?
Well, I just tried to go a little bit too fast in the jump off and it didn't work out, but come back another day.
Now, you had this pony in this class last year. What happened then?
He hasn't gone so well the last 2 years. He wasn't a big fan of the pot plants, and he's actually got eliminated twice here, so this is the first year he's got round.
So a big improvement then, and you're quite happy?
Yep, very happy.
Now, what's that little pink toy you've got in your hand there?
This is supporting the Child Cancer Foundation.
Oh, excellent. And what is it?
A pink pen.
Now, you're in the Grand Prix. Got high hopes for that?
Yep, I've got Dunstan Dolly in the Grand Prix again this year.
Excellent. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
We'll be seeing Katie a little later in the day. She finishes second in the end aboard Dunstan Wild Thing to Sam Duncan and Chablinkas. Andrew Beatson and Lucy Holden end up third equal from Carla Hayes on What a Dude. Goodness me, there are lots of highlights here today at Wanganui, and one of them, of course, was the appearance of Callista Field aboard Julius and a dressage display. Always wonderful to see this part of the equestrian discipline. Some racy sort of music to keep us all going as well. Helene.
Well, I was lucky enough to actually watch Callista perform at the World Equestrian Games on her other horse, Jamal, and how nice it was to see New Zealand up there on the board and dressage at last. She's showing us a few movements here. You can see the extended trot. This is now Callista's top #1 horse. She's heading for the next Olympic Games. Bit of half pass there, crossing the legs to the left. And half pass right. You'll notice the back legs crossing over there as well.
So preparation for the Olympics of 2004 well underway for Callista Field. And the combination that I dare say we'll be seeing representing New Zealand. What could be a great games. 2004.
There goes some passage. One of the hardest movements in dressage. Callista's conquered it a number of times now.
Yeah, it's a big thrill for the crowd here at Wanganui today to see Callista Field in action, and well done to her. We wish her luck over the next couple of years. Well, Callista will be retiring to the Williams & Kettle sponsor tent, and there's Brett Parnell from the Gallagher Group, the principal sponsors of the Wanganui Show Jumping Classic. Lots of attractions on course, including the local Hot Rod Club, and I tell you what, you might see a couple of familiar faces here. Oh yes, you won't go far without the Top Twins. They're thrilling the crowd, as are the Hot Rods. Time to meet one of the special riders here today.
So Greg, you won the World Cup Series last year. What do you do to prepare for the World Cup Series this year?
Well, I haven't done much for this year. I've been over in America and just got back 2 days ago now. And I really don't feel that prepared. My horse hasn't jumped much since last season, so I think it might actually turn out to be to our advantage. It's a long season, and we have a lot of big competitions towards the end of the season as well, so I'm comfortable with where I am right now.
How do you think you're going to go on the Grand Prix today?
It's a perfect day out here today. It's a lovely showgrounds. The jumps are fantastic. The competition is good. I still feel underprepared. But I feel confident too. The horse has jumped the last 2 days and he's jumped really well.
Well, we'll see a little later. There's Helene, and of talking with Ian Willits from Bell T. Wonder what they're talking about. All right, a couple of friendly young animals about to enjoy the activities. Oh, this is one of the popular parts of the day. This is the opportunity to walk the course. Oh, I think the Top Twins helping with the counting there. That'd be a bit suspect.
20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 26, 27, just a bit over.
It's quite big steps you're taking there. You wouldn't want to have tight underpants on, would you?
No,
when you're doing something like this.
No, you wouldn't want to have tight underpants.
Okay.
All right, time for the big one, the Gallagher Grand Prix, and this promises to be a great event. Really looking forward to this. First rider into the ring already is Philip Steiner aboard Diomedes LS.
Philip's probably one of my favourite riders to watch. He's very still in the saddle, very, very polished. Done a lot of training overseas.
And he'll be looking for a good performance here today at Wanganui aboard Diomedes. He's based in Tauranga with his fiancée Sally Anderson, and was a member of the New Zealand show jumping team that competed in the third test against Australia at the Isola show in Auckland in March of this year. The Gallagher Grand Prix is our special event for the moment. Under what sort of conditions is it generally run?
Well, I remember last year it was pretty wet and slippery, where today we can see a huge course, very technical, twisty, turny and big, but run under great conditions. The ground looks good here. You'll find it's probably a little bit slippery on the surface, but all these horses will be studded up, and so they shouldn't slip too much.
Is it a fairly representative field this year with the competitors that have gathered?
Very much so. I mean, it's a high-profile event. Aside from being televised, it's one of the richest events on the show jumping circuit. So you'll see all the top riders here competing for, spots in Trans-Tasman teams.
Conditions really couldn't be better here at Wanganui, and it's always great to have that good weather. Oh, hello, Phillips. Got a rail down.
The last fence.
And that is disappointing. Can run so far and end up with just the 4 faults. But that should keep him somewhere in contention all the same. Diomedes and Philip Steiner.
She won the World Cup Classic Hawke's Bay.
All right, time now to introduce you to Richard III, and this is Molly Saville.
By Ash Habits. Ladies and gentlemen, Molly Saville, Richard III.
Molly's currently third in the Grand Prix standings. Of course, all these riders follow a circuit and they go from place to place, from region to region, contesting in these big competitions, gaining points, all hoping to win the World Cup qualifier, which could see them riding overseas against the best in the world.
Just a little bit about Molly. She, in fact, is the current holder of the Lady Rider of the Year title, and that's the title that she won back in 2001. And she won the New Zealand World Cup round at the Hawke's Bay Show with Richard III, now living in Wairoa.
Molly's actually a South Islander, originally from Christchurch. And this is probably, I'd say, her second season of being really competitive on the Grand Prix and World Cup circuit. She's produced this horse right through the grades from absolutely scratch. Trained by Greg Best, an asset to our country, definitely.
So all going well so far for Molly over the Corralbin. Great place there if you're ever looking for a break. So over the Bell-T successfully, and Molly looking very strong here.
Of course, she needs to leave all these rails up to get into the jump-off.
Over the final fence, which appropriately is the Gallagher, and a successful and clear run for Molly Saville. Well done aboard Richard III. So the first clear round from our two starters so far. And you can see these beautiful conditions we're enjoying here at Wanganui as Primo Ventura enters the ring. This is Sam Beatson, another very experienced rider.
Very strong combination, Sam and Primo Ventura now. They've competed internationally in Australia, very competitive over there. Now he's come back to do this season. He's moved out of home and he's away farming now.
Be always a real clash of the Beatson family as well. Uncle Morris, his cousin is Jamie Beatson, so there'll be a little bit of internal competition going on there between the family. So Sam Beatson, so far so good. Looking forward to seeing some of the other riders, and later in the day, of course, Greg Best, Katie McBean in action.
Katie McBean's, of course, the leader of the Grand Prix series coming into this event. But it's always pretty close. There's no room for error. You need to keep getting those points. Sam Beatson will actually be vying for a place in the next Trans-Tasman event. Australians coming over this year to the 2003 Horse of the Year show.
There's a rail down for Sam. He did need that late in the round. 2 fences to go. Lining himself up now for the final fence, the Gallagher.
It's a tight turn onto that last fence.
Oh, there we go. Well, that is unfortunate. Wow, that was looking good there for Sam, but he'll end up with 8 faults.
Sam Beatson and Primo Ventura.
Some disadvantage, obviously. Clear round from the preceding rider in Molly Saville.
Now welcome Alan Bruce to the ring.
So, well, we move on. Another top name, a top combination, in fact, and this is King's Ransom with Alan Bruce.
King's Ransom.
Now, Phil, this is one of 3 stallions in this class. New Zealand not known for having stallions in the ring. It is looking very, very good for New Zealand show jumping.
Clearly, he's a horse of some talent, so passing that ability on to younger progeny.
Yeah, not only talented, but when you see these stallions out here jumping competitively in Grand Prix, you know their temperaments are spot on.
I mean, do you have to be a little more careful when you've got the stallion around? I mean, make sure that they're boxed well away from the mares. You've got to watch them all the time, or not?
Yeah, I think you do, but like I just said, I think once they're actually at these events, they're out there in the practice ring. There's no special stallion warm-up arena or anything, so you know their mind's on the job.
Alan's actually from Hunterville, and he farms sheep and beef with his wife Claire. So, pretty experienced rider this, and doing the job absolutely 100% at the moment.
This horse has been very, very good over the past few seasons, but I'd put my money on saying this horse is actually peaking about now.
on there over the bell tee. And with the one jump to go, this is looking very good here. I don't know what to put the hex on him, but...
Will we have a jump off?
Yes. Yep, well done, Alan. Alan Bruce and King's Ransom, another clear round here. Wanganui, so that's all good news.
Clear round, Alan Bruce and King's Ransom.
He knows it too.
83.57 lead time.
Now an opportunity to introduce another Beatson. We saw Sam before, well here's Uncle Morris aboard My Gollywog.
We'll see Morris out later on Duty Free as well, Duty Free being his #1 horse. My Gollywog today being his #2, but not for much longer. I think Morris would hope this horse would take over from his #1 at the moment.
And Morris's record is pretty phenomenal. He was a member of the New Zealand show jumping team that went to Australia last spring and competed in the 3 Test series against Australia in New Zealand earlier this year. Probably acknowledged as the oldest statesman, I think, of the show jumping world here in New Zealand.
You know, I spoke to Morris not so long ago, and one of my questions to him was, these Grand Prix horses and World Cup horses are few and far between, and everyone wants to get their hands on them. How on earth do you manage to produce so many? I mean, you see, like you said, you've got Sam out there, you've got Jamie out there, and they all come from Morris. And he just, you know, getting out to the shows and a bit of hard work.
Well, it's probably like the racing world and the world that we enjoyed with Kenny Brown and personalities like that. It's a skill, no question at all, and they're the ones to follow. So Morris is also about to do a good job. Goodness me.
Yeah, I particularly like this horse. I wouldn't mind seeing this in my eventing yard, actually. Don't think Morris would let me though.
Well, you can only negotiate. Last fence here for Morris Beatson. And just that one fault too. What a shame. He would have had the clear round. Well, 4 faults in total for Morris Beatson and My Gollywog. He'll get an opportunity in the round with Duty Free. Very pleasant conditions to enjoy the show jumping world. Today we're going to see Sonia Ware, and she's aboard Chikaremba.
Sonia's from Wairarapa, consistent on the national circuit here in New Zealand, and she was placed in the Lady Rider of the Year. Beautiful conditions here today, and those jumps look magnificent as well. A lot of work gone into them, I bet.
Sonia and the combination here were placed second in the Grand Prix at the Carterton show. And Chikaremba is not performing too badly here today at Wanganui.
No, a very consistent performer over the Wanganui Chronicle there. Just tips at the back legs. I think Sonia will probably be on the scout for a younger horse to maybe replace Chikaremba. She's had the mileage now up at World Cup, so very capable of producing another horse.
So a few fences remaining now over the bell tee. There's the Classic Hits fence. 1 to go, the Gallagher. So a total of around about 8 faults if she gets over this one. Yes. So there we have it. Sonia Ware aboard Chikaremba. There it is, official. 8 faults in total. So we're moving through this competition well now with just the 2 clear rounds, and we introduce you to Doug Isaacson from Dannyburg. He farms and rides from Dannyburg. He's been show jumping since he was aged 9. It's about time. Well, it's about time, Doug. Here's your big opportunity.
Doug was a huntsman for many years. Good way to produce these young horses, taking them out hunting. Oh, and just tap that Mitavite fence.
Doug won the Horse of the Year title back in 1979. He has represented New Zealand on a number of occasions. And It's About Time is an 11-year-old and another stallion. And what's your appraisal of the course, Helen?
Well, I think it's a real art to get these courses done like this one has been. Lester Jardin's outdone himself yet again, one of New Zealand's leading course builders.
Yes, that's another name that's so synonymous with the sport. Lester Jardin.
You'll notice Doug's horse, It's About Time, has a very unorthodox style of jumping. Jumping very, very high, but not folding up his front legs. Although there's nothing wrong with being unorthodox, you get the job done.
Doug now with just the one fence to go. He's taken a slightly wider berth there in his approach.
We'll look forward to seeing It's About Time's progeny out over the next few years. Already doing well.
Well, Doug will be just disappointed there because that was virtually a clear round. He had that problem earlier on, and he'll end up with just the 4 faults. Doug Isaacson, and It's About Time. Now just keep an eye out for the wonderful floral displays here that the Wanganui Floral Art Group have provided. Nancy Smith from Waverley has spearheaded a 70-strong group who worked fantastically, and this is one of the highlights, no doubt about it, of this day. The floral work here around the fences, if you note them, is quite spectacular. Sally Anderson's in now with Well Wisher, and Sally, another very experienced performer. She's a 23-year-old based in Tauranga, and as mentioned earlier, with fiance Philip Steiner.
I think their wedding date's not too far away either, February, I believe. Now, Philip and Sally have set up a very, very good buying and selling establishment with the help of Richard and Wendy Cadell, and together they've imported 2 exciting stallions, trying to improve the bloodlines in New Zealand.
Well Wisher is a 9-year-old. He is a gelding by Wishing Well. And of course, Sally went to Australia last spring. She won the Prince of Wales Cup at the Melbourne show. So she's one that must be always respected in an event like this.
Another one of Sid Kent's well-bred horses. Of course, he breeds for Harvey and Ann Wilson there in Waitotra. Belty double now, and rattles it, but it stays up. Sally 2's chosen to go round the Hooker Pacific fence for her line for the last fence. And a good choice by the look of that last cut.
So round completed for Sally Anderson and Well Wisher, and 4 faults against her name as well. So we're moving through this competition very, very quickly now as we get to another very experienced rider. And time to introduce you to Bell Tower. And this is Catherine Cameron's chance. Very highly respected combination this, based out of Cambridge.
She had a good competition here last year with Bell Tower and Rachmaninoff, her other horse. I think she was 5th equal on both of them in this Grand Prix.
See the floral display there just beneath the motorbike fence. A good example here. Certainly done a fantastic job. Well done to them.
Catherine Cameron's a very hard-working rider. She's probably the girl that you call if you have a problem with your horse. Say, can you help me out? And she might take it off your hands. Ride just about anything, this girl. Bell Tower, he's a big horse, isn't he? He makes these jumps look really small.
Yes, some have had trouble with the Wanganui Chronicle fence, but not so Bell Tower. Relbin there, just clipped, but stays up. Then a problem. So the first of the rails down for Catherine. And that was probably a little uncharacteristic. A very tight turn there as she approaches the last of the fences.
see Catherine having a bit of trouble to stay straight there onto the fences coming towards the end.
Well, unfortunately, those plates have claimed another victim, Catherine Cameron.
Let's check those faults now as she approaches
Pick up the 4 faults.
the fence that gave her the trouble. And just clipped the top there, so rail down, she'll end up with just the 4 faults. Catherine Cameron and Belle Tar. Now it's Claire Wilson, and she's aboard Answer Back. She's just back, in fact, from a honeymoon, I believe, recently married.
Yeah, around the world, Ireland, Europe, France.
It's the way to go, no doubt about it. Her new husband, Simon Wilson, will be in action very shortly, in fact. He's the next rider into the ring. So let's see how Claire goes aboard Answer Back. It's the 8-year-old stallion's actually owned by Claire's mother, Di Murphy.
Just tipped the rail there. This will be this horse's first full season of competing at this level. So the more mileage she gets now, the better. And Claire will have very high hopes for this horse. She's trained a lot overseas with the best trainers and the best riders in the world. And come back to New Zealand, settled down, and finally has a horse that now she can teach the skills she's learned.
The beauty is the horse is young enough. I mean, at 8 years of age, future's ahead.
Any horse under 10 here has a realistic shot at the next Olympic Games.
Could be one of those classic comments I've just made, the future's ahead. Close to know that I can get it as accurate as that. Anyway, here we go up to the Belle T. 2 more fences over the classic hits, and finally the Gallagher. And she goes wide as well.
I think you'll find the ground there is getting a little bit chopped up with the more horses that go over it.
How unfortunate. It's the first time you've seen rail down at that fence. Claire will be disappointed in that. So she'll end up with 8 faults. Claire Wilson and Answer Back.
8 jump faults. It's on 90.62.
Time for a very brief greeting as we introduce Swinger. And this is Simon Wilson.
Simon bought this horse off Anne Wilson, organiser of this competition.
Simon's actually a farm manager at Waipukara. And he also competes on the show jumping circuit. He's in his 2nd year of competing in the Grand Prix series, and Swinger's very highly regarded, promising young horse, and they're currently leading the New Zealand World Cup series.
And yeah, actually probably one of New Zealand's most exciting young horses at this particular moment in time.
He flew that fence without any trouble.
2nd in the Grand Prix series as well, so looking good for this coming season. It's nice for Simon to have a good horse. You know, he's ridden for a lot of years, and it really does, you really do need to get a combination together before you can really come to the fore in any sport.
Simon's leading us into Greg Best, who'll be our next competitor. Over the Corralbin, now making good progress here.
A lot of air over the Belle T double there. All it takes, a little rub.
Goodness me. Talk about leaving the run late, and you can see the disappointment on Simon's face there.
Would love to have a ride on that horse.
It's almost an interesting, strange result there for that rail to fall. 8 faults in total for Simon Wilson. Here he is now, our silver medalist from the Seoul Olympics, Greg Best aboard Entrepreneur 2. Greg has had a rush trip home. He had some quite serious passport difficulties getting back, and he missed some of the early rounds, but competed at Carterton and has made it here today to Wanganui. So a little bit of class in the ring here, and let's see if he can take advantage of that ability.
This horse has actually become one of Greg's favourite horses. It's taken him a while to bond, I think. Last year he wasn't too sure if, you know, this horse was as good as he was hoping, but I think this year he's really starting to shine with it.
He's an imported horse, of course. He came in from the US a couple of years ago.
Greg did a deal with some friends over there to get their horse ready for their daughter, but Entrepreneur proving to be just a little bit too good for that maybe, and maybe, fingers crossed, a prospect for New Zealand's Olympic show jumping team now that Greg's a New Zealand citizen.
Yes, he lives in Hastings. He's riding and training full-time. So far so good for Greg Best. Going well here.
You'll see him take his turns nice and smoothly. The horse won't slip too much. He's got a nice soft bit in the horse's mouth, and he keeps a nice, calm, relaxed approach to each fence.
He's looking good. 2 to go. Clean over that one. Only concentrating on that clear round. It's just the Gallagher to go for Entrepreneur 2. Yes, well done. And a good smile too. So another clear round here in the Gallagher Grand Prix. Greg Best does it right.
I've left all the rails up in the process to give us our third combination to go clear.
So there we have it. Greg Best and Entrepreneur 2. No faults against the name. And he can relax for a few moments. All right, well, Katie McVean now and Dunstan Dolly. Let's see what this up-and-coming young star can do. We all know how good she is. She was the winner here last year, both the horse and pony Grand Prix. Very talented young rider. I mean, on world level, world scale, how good is she?
Well, I think she's New Zealand's most promising for sure. I think when you get over to Europe, though, you'd find that she'd fit in alongside all our good young riders over there, where in New Zealand she's just outstanding. So the trip over to Europe that I think Jeff's got planned for her will be an eye-opener and will be very, very good for her.
One thing she's got on her side is age. How about that? Katie McVean successfully over the first fence. Let's see how she goes here aboard Dunstan Dolly.
You'll notice too, earlier we were talking about the silver fern on the jacket. Katie's actually got a New Zealand flag, which is the highest honour you can get. Taking a rattle, but it doesn't fall, and that's a good thing. Your horse can have a little rub without the rail falling. She's likely to be a little bit more careful over the next few.
Towards the Wanganui Chronicle fence. Rather silent, save for the odd crying baby, but Melbourne.
Katie's really a credit to her father as well. Jeff's so supportive. One of the nicest families you can come across in the sport. See how easy she made that tight turn right there. No slipping there at all.
One fence to go and clear round in prospect. Yes. Living up to her favouritism here in this event. Katie McVean shows some real class. And have another clear round, so the jump off is getting even more exciting. No faults. Katie McVean and Dunstan Dolly. Well, here's the final competitor, and what a great way to finish. Morris beats in aboard Duty Free, this amazing combination.
This, without doubt, is Morris's favourite old horse. He's been very, very good to Morris. Not the easiest horse mind in his younger days. Duty Free, when ridden by Emily Fuller, was a bit of a handful in the young rider classes. Taken over by Morris, he now excels at this level of competition. I think you'll find this may be Duty Free's final season, though, at this level.
Well, he's certainly been round the course a few times, hasn't he? No question about that. Over the Genesis. Gritty determination.
Morris is a tough competitor. If he gets in the jump off, you've always got something to worry about. See him egging Duty Free on down that treble there. He really has to get everything out of this horse to get over these big fences.
3 clear rounds so far. Can we get a 4th?
Over the planks, it's a difficult line, that one. Oh, and just taps that Classic hits fence. What a shame.
Final fence for Morris Beatson. And save that one blemish there on the Classic hits fence. Otherwise it'd been a clear round. So great to see Judy Free in action anytime, and Morris Beatson done a fantastic job here today. Just that one fence, goodness me. So he'll end up with a total of 4 faults. Fails to make it into the jump off, and he will be very, very disappointed. All right, let's check them out now. 4 competitors for the jump off: Molly Saville, Alan Bruce aboard King's Ransom, Greg Best on Entrepreneur 2, Katie McVean aboard Dunstan Dolly. Well, it promises to be a great jump off. We've got 4 of the best competitors in the business in action, all very experienced. Katie showing great experience, and experience beyond her years in many ways. Here's Molly Saville first up, and she's aboard Richard III. Now remember, time comes into it. Shorter course. See what happens.
Molly being the first one out of the gate, she needs to be quick and she needs to be clean over these fences. Nicely over the double. She knows she's got good competitors behind her, so she can't waste any time. Katie McVean and Greg Best in the lineup. Really can't afford to go slowly. Oh, I think she just paid the price for cutting that, taking that on a little bit of an angle.
Probably going to get round in close to 50-odd seconds in that vicinity. So she's going to have those 4 faults. And the time will be interesting to see, but it seemed relatively comfortable. There is the time, 50.53. So that's the mark. Molly Saville with 4 faults, 50.53. All right, let's see what Alan Bruce can do aboard King's Ransom. Opportunity here for Alan. Gallagher Grand Prix going right down to the wire. 3 competitors to go.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Alan will not waste any time. He knows this horse very, very well. He knows how far he can push it and how fast he can go. Huge angle over the first of that double there.
Yes, you can see there is a definite change in pace. Working his horse.
See the concentration on his face.
This is the fence that was the undoing. Oh, goodness me, of Molly Saville, and it's happened again.
We have a bogey fence.
Corralbin has caused some trouble.
Well, that was unlucky.
Time will be good, though. I'm sure it's going to be faster than Molly Saville's. We'll wait for it. 50.53 to beat. Oh, there it is, 46.47. So that is the leading time. 4 faults for Alan Bruce and King's Ransom. Now the onus is on Greg Best and also Katie McVean.
Now you'll notice them changing the plants there. Greg's arena craft is absolute magic. Like, he would have gone in there, seen the pot plant tipped over or perhaps out of place, and he would have asked them to put it back because he has the right to do that. He doesn't leave any stone unturned, this man.
Well, a great opportunity for him to take out the Gallagher Grand Prix.
Greg doesn't always look like he's going very fast, but you'll notice he very rarely takes a pull. So his horse is always moving forward.
Yes, I mean, if you compare him to Alan Bruce, you would say that Alan Bruce is going a lot quicker.
But in actual fact, when you're riding a horse this height, maybe 17.2 plus Entrepreneur, he covers the ground. His stride is enormous.
He is doing this in style. Entrepreneur 2 showing some real class up to the Gallagher. Clear round, for Greg Best, who takes the lead in the Gallagher Grand Prix aboard Entrepreneur 2. Time should be good as well. We'll wait for it. No faults. And Greg Best, yeah, 46.27. That really goes to show you exactly what Glenn mentioned happened. He looked slow and controlled, but he was in complete command. A good result for him. All right, Katie McVean. Pressure right on now. Dunstan Dolly. Let's see what she can do.
Well, she's going to have to go fast and clear to beat Greg's time. Any rail will mean Greg automatically takes the win. But she has done it before, so she can do it again.
Almost appreciated that she'd made an error there, I think.
I think she might have misjudged the course a little bit, which will put her behind time. She's going to have to step on it.
Yeah, there was a problem there. You could sense that she was struggling. Just her eyes were flicking from left to right.
I think she knew she had to make time and just pressing on that little bit too fast, perhaps, to that vertical.
Well, she clears the final fence without any trouble at all, but she knows it. An unfortunate mistake there gives the win to Greg Best, who can smile and be more than happy with his effort. Racing back from the United States to get here, and Katie, she knows it. Boy, oh boy, bit of a chuckle to herself. I blew it, she says. Well, never mind. Here are the honours, prizes being handed out, and Brett Pownell from the Gallagher Group is the man of the moment, as we salute the champions of the day and Greg Best and Entrepreneur 2. Alan Bruce, Molly Saville and Katie McVean. A very good effort by all four riders. And a chance, of course, to meet our winner, Greg Best. Another success for him. I've been coming fairly regularly.
So, Greg, a fantastic performance here, taking out the Grand Prix at the Wanganui Show Jumping Classic. How did you find the course?
I thought the course was a very fair course. I knew it was going to be tough today, but the conditions were just ideal. So when you have conditions as good as this, you can afford to set a pretty tough course, which it was.
So how long have you been back in New Zealand for?
I've been back only for sort of a day and a half, and hopped off the plane, jumped in a couple of smaller classes over the last couple of days, and then straight into this. And this is a big track today, so I was really pleased.
So who's prepared this horse for you?
I tell you, my girlfriend Kim and the girl that's working for me right now, Amy, have just done a super job getting this guy ready, so it's really a credit to them. No credit to me, just to them.
So you've been in the Olympics before, you've won medals before. How does Entrepreneur stack up to Gem Twist?
You know, I've sort of grown very attached to this horse, except for when he's biting me like he is right now. But I've grown very attached to this horse, and I really believe that this is probably the second best horse I've ever ridden, and that's saying a lot. I've ridden some good horses.
Yes, a great compliment to Entrepreneur 2. Greg Best taking out the Gallagher Grand Prix from Alan Bruce aboard King's Ransom, Molly Saville on Richard III, and Katie McVean aboard Dunstan Dolly, 4th place.
Falling in love is hard to resist. As magical as that very first kiss. When an invitation comes, let go. The heart will know. The heart will know.
Well, I've been out west of a long time gone.
Oh, the top twins entertaining here at Wanganui.
I've been out west of a long time gone. About a mile ago, and I'm singing a song, heading on back to where I belong. Here we go now. Oh-do-dee-da-lee, 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 oh-dee.
Always Always great entertainment at any time. The Top Twins giving a real festive ear to the Wanganui Show Jumping Classic. All right, time for our last event, which is the Classic Hits Scurry, and this is exciting stuff. You'll enjoy this. A great way to finish our afternoon here at Wanganui. Jamie Beatson and Poseidon first away, and you can give us the basis to this competition, Helene.
Well, the crowd love this event. Jump faults and time are added together to give us the final tally. So the faster you go, the better. There's no jump off, there's no second chances.
Jamie's the 17-year-old. He's the son of Morris and Christine, and he'll love a competition like this, a bit of a challenge. His other interests are athletics and rugby, and he's had a pretty successful year as a rugby player, so let's see what he can do here in the Classic Hits Scurry.
You'll notice too the riders have a choice of which side of a fence to jump, and even in some cases which fence to jump. If they want to save time, they have to really know their horses well, because there are some really difficult lines here. Oh, and there's one of them, nearly getting jumped out of the saddle there. That's a bounce fence, no stride in between.
Good little tester here for Jamie Beatson. Only a couple to go. And he knocks one over at the Wanganui Chronicle.
You really need to know your horse for this competition. You need to know how far you can push it.
Another rail down at the Mitavite. Well, Jamie, just 77.81. Well, there's the total. Now, his time was actually 69.81, so with the 8 faults, that's how you calculate the total. So 77.81 for Jamie Beatson. That is the mark so far in the Classic Hits Scurry. Now we introduce you to McLaren, and I wonder if he races like one. Here is Tim Pearce.
I think Tim will be hoping today.
Good opportunity here. Yeah, not an easy course, this, actually, when you look at it.
No, and not for Tim either, because Tim's on the show committee here, so, you know, he's got to have his mind on the job to get around this track today.
He looked very comfortable at the cocktail party, so maybe he was, are you suggesting better suited there?
Well, he looked like he was having fun on the course walk too, with the Top Twins.
He's had a rail drop there too, third fence.
Remembering though, one rail is not the end of the world in this particular class. I think you'll notice if a rider has a rail, they'll accelerate afterwards, because then they need to make it up on time.
A good little tester there in the middle of the course.
See the planks on the left-hand side there? That was the other option he could have taken, perhaps slightly quicker option.
I think he's going to be a little quicker, certainly, than Jamie. The question is, of course, with his faults, what's his total going to end up at? Let's find out. Tim Pearce aboard McLaren, 75.17. Well, there's a good example. He's actually faster than Jamie, and that's made the difference. So they take the lead early on in the Classic Hits Scurry. 75.17 as we introduce our next competitor, and this is Greer Thomas aboard Pipsqueak.
Greer from New Plymouth, come through the Pony Club ranks, and is having a real crack this season at show jumping. Not doing too badly, I might add. She's pretty quick, I think, really covering the ground here, moving around her turns. A neat little rider. You have to be accurate in this class. That's a tricky one. Show jumpers don't often have to bounce anything, let alone at speed. She keeps his pace up. Well, she keeps his pace up. She's really going to put pressure on the next few riders.
She is racing. This is a great round here by Greer. Okay. Over the Corralbin. get the clear? That's the interesting one. Yes, she does. First clear round so far in the Classic hit Scurry. And the time, well, we hear the PA announcer mention 71. It's going to be something in that vicinity, 71.34. So there we have it. That is the lead at the moment. Greer Thomas. 71.34 clear round. Well, you'd almost think that would be a winning one. Let's see what happens. Here's Oliver Edgecombe now, and Atrium, Many Wishes.
You may remember Many Wishes being ridden by Morris Beatson. Another horse Morris has kindly let out to Oliver here. Oliver selling his best horse last season. And now looking to produce another one. Oliver's a very, very polished rider. Very rarely makes mistakes, which will come in handy in this particular competition. You'll notice the cap the horse has got over its ears. That actually stops the horse being interfered with by the crowd when the crowd clap.
Well, he's had just one rail down so far, has Oliver Edgecombe. Just a few fences remaining now in the Classic hit Scurry. Racing around the course, trying to pick up the advantage here with time.
Oh, and taps the last, but he's over it.
Well, that's a pretty good effort there. 4 faults. It'll be interesting to see what his time is. He has to beat 71.34. 69.72, and Oliver Edgecombe moves into the lead in the Classic hit Scurry. So now Robert Steele and Gospel.
Robert's a farmer from Taranaki.
Yeah, we'll just...
He produces his own horses, he breeds and breaks, which I think is a good thing because, like I said before, you need to know your horse for this particular class, and Robert, having brought the horse right through the grades, will know it better than anyone.
Interesting style here. It's all very effortless. It's a little similar to Greg Best, who we saw before, an entrepreneur. He doesn't seem to be going all that quick, but...
Well, Robert's the favourite for this class, and speed is his specialty. So a good rider always makes things look easy.
Well, these two are making it look very easy. Smooth as silk.
Okay, this is where he can make up some time if he wants. He's not wasting any.
There it is. Yes, that is a fantastic round, and yes, lots of support too coming from the sponsors area. And Robert Steele, look at the time, 60.73,
and nothing to add.
Oh, that's an amazing round. Well done, Robert. He's delivering the gospel. All right, time for another rider. This is Harvey Wilson, familiar face. Might have waited so long.
Might have waited so long, one of Ann Wilson, Harvey's wife's horses, and I'm told it'll have to go back to Ann at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning.
She'll be waiting.
Ann a bit busy to ride this year. She's doing all the organisation of the Wanganui Classic.
These top riders do make it look easy.
Now Harvey knows all the tricks of the trade. He's been doing this for years. Harvey will be taking all the shortcuts he can, so we may actually see an option being used very, very soon. Let's see what he does here. Oh, and there he does it. He turns left. That was a very sharp turn, and again.
And he'll pick up some time there, so this is going to be interesting. One fence to go. Can he go clear? He does. And he knows it's a good round. Let's see what it is. Time to beat 60.73.
Right there.
No, just outside 63.67. So he will move into second place at the moment. Harvey Wilson All right, Donna Smith now, a bit rusty, only a few competitors remaining. They know what they have to do.
Donna Smith, a multi-talented rider, about to head over to the USA, to David O'Connor's stable. He's a very well-known event rider, and Donna herself looks set to excel at eventing in the next few years. That was a sharp turn there. Donna's got nothing to lose here. She needs to go fast.
And I dare say they're taking in the actions of the other riders too, noticing where Harvey perhaps made up his ground.
Yeah. Later on, you can remember where people had mistakes and maybe do things a little bit differently. She looks very fast.
Yeah, no, this is a good quick round. Time's looking good at the moment.
Oh, for a second there, I thought she was going to do that turn that Harvey did.
Up and over Corralbin, and here she is over the motorbike. And another clear round. And into contention. A major placing here. Let's wait and see what the time is. The crucial time, 62.41. Not good enough to get the lead in the moment. Certainly good enough to take second place. And well done. All right. We have one to go. This is Perfect Alibi and Angela Ilston.
Angela, also very well known for riding in Grand Prix and World Cup level on this horse, has saved the horse for this class. Angela never wastes any time on the best of days. She knows what she has to do to beat that time.
This is quick.
Crowd getting right behind her there. Now what's she going to do here?
This is decision time. No, rail down. 2 to go. Another rail. Oh, this is going to cost her.
Oh, and that last rough might be a bit costly, I think.
I think so. That'll be 12 faults, and I'm sure the time would have been good, but let's wait and see. Yes, the time must have been excellent. 70.70. Time of 58.70. Well, Angela, she got it on the clock, but she missed out with the faults. Robert Steele's the man on Gospel. He claims the honours here in the Classic Hits Scurry. What a great way to end our wonderful day here at the Wanganui Show Jumping Classic. So Robert Steele receiving his honour, and well done to him. And a good lineup for second and third as well. Well, it's been a great afternoon. We've really enjoyed this, and confirming the final results, you'll find that it is Robert Steele from Donna Smith on a bit rusty, Harvey Wilson on Might Have Waited So Long, Oliver Edgecombe, Angela Ilston. Time to rejoin her land.
The Wanganui Show Jumping Classic has come to an end. How did it go, Anne?
Well, we've all had a great day. We're all pretty worn out, but thank you very much to Wanganui, all our sponsors, Gallagher, the District Council and all the whole city. Thank you.
It's definitely been a fantastic day. And how did your day go, Harvey?
I had a good day actually, Alan. I won the first class on Might Have Waited Dream On and got placed in the speed, so I'm happy.
Well, the Wanganui Show Jumping Classic has come to an end for 2002. It's been a fantastic day. The sun's been out shining, and we look forward to seeing you all here again next year.